Today, we are going to talk about Malaysia, specifically Melaka. Malacca's strategic location at the Straits and its function as an international port selling Asian spices attracted the attention of Portuguese. Therefore, Alfonso attacked and colonized Malacca at 1511, causing Malacca to be colonized under Portuguese for 130 years. Famous landmarks and fortresses were built, such as A Famosa. Descendants of Portuguese speak Creole Portuguese, known as Papia Cristão. Most of them are Christians and have Portuguese surname. Now, Portugal and Malaysia has a diplomatic relation. Portuguese Honorary Consulate in Kuala Lumpur is the sole representation of Portugal in Malaysia for diplomatic purposes. The relation started with the 1980 European Commission Asian Agreement and has developed since. Both countries maintain an economic relation by exportation and importation. Portugal is one of the top 15 trading partners of Malaysia. Most export goods are electric and electronic goods, rubber, and machinery. In terms of education, student exchange programs are offered like Nasal High School Exchange Program.
According to its history, in Malacca, Portuguese colony was starting from 1511 until 1641. The language used is Cristão and only be found in Malaysia and Singapore. As for today, the settlements occur as mini Lisbon is comprises with 5 streets. Portuguese Square, or known as Portuguese Settlement Malacca or Kampung Portuguese, it is a home of descendants for Portuguese settlers. Once a year on 29 June, Feast of St. Pedro is celebrated with dancing, music and banquet. In 1930s, the British resident allowed the establishment of a fishing village which is originally called St. John's Village. Art, music and dance of Portuguese in Malaysia. Firstly, Farapira. It is a fast and cheerful dance accompanied by guitars tambourines, performed by couples dressed in traditional Portuguese costumes. Second, Branho. It is a favorite mainly by the older Portuguese generation. Branho is mostly danced from the Farapira. Male dancers will dress in cowboy-like and female dancers will dress in traditional baju kebayas with batik sarongs. They will sway to the steady rhythm of drums and violins. A Famosa, or known as the Famous in Portuguese, it is a former Portuguese fortress located in Malacca, Malaysia. It is an oldest surviving European architectural remains in Southeast Asia, Porta de Santiago, which is the only part of the fortress that still remains until today. Portuguese food in Malaysia. Firstly, Portuguese grilled fish and seafood. Second is injimintu. It is a dish with rings of bitter gourd stuffed with fish paste and cooked in a rich and slightly spicy coconut meat-based sauce. It is commonly cooked by the locals on Fridays when the Catholics abstain from meats and consume only fish. Tamarind prawns. It is main taste of the dish is of course the sweet juice from the tamarind pulp, but there is also a sweet tone from sugar added. As but not least, curry devil, or known in Portuguese as curry devil, is a very spicy curry flavored with canna nuts, galangal and vinegar from the Eurasian Christian culinary tradition in Malacca, Malaysia. It is often served 1 or 2 days after Christmas and on other special occasion.
So as for the Malaysia icon, we chose Tony Fernandez. He is the founder of Twin Air Sedan Berhad, which he introduced the first budget no-frills airline, and also not to mention that he also placed 28th place on Forbes list Malaysia. He is also the founder of the Tehran F1 Formula 1 team. Other than that, he is also active in football club. He is the majority shareholder of Queen's Park Rangers Football Club, and in 2018 he was named as the head of Malaysia Stadium Corporation. So these are some of Fernandez awards for his achievements. As in 2009, he received Excellence in Leadership Asia Pacific Leadership Awards, and in 2010, he received Forbes Asia Businessman of the Year. So the latest news that we found is actually their fight to save their language in Malacca. Santa Maria, age 50, runs the weekly classes at the home to actually preserve the endangered language, as UNESCO has classified Cristão as severely endangered and since only about 2,000 people speak it. Cristão has a very large Portuguese vocabulary, where this word is kinda similar to Malay, and it is also influenced by Chinese and Indian languages. As it is, Cristão textbook, mobile app and CD has been produced.
Architecture of Malacca versus Asian region. First, in the aspect of historic building. A building may hold special historic interest because of its importance to a historical event or period or its connection to important people. It could also have historic interest in the building itself, like its construction method, design, and architectural. Historic building in Malacca, the famous Famosa, former Portuguese fortress. St. Paul Church. Historic building in Asian region. The well-known Angkor Wat in Cambodia is the largest religious monument in the world. Next is the Borobudur Temple in Indonesia. It is the world's largest Buddhist temple. The 16th century St. Augustine Church is one of the oldest stone churches in the country of Philippines. One of 4 Philippine churches that is pronounced as the World Heritage Site by UNESCO under the collective title Barangay Churches of the Philippines. And now to differentiate in terms of tall building and skyscrapers. As you can see, countries all over the world are now competitively eager to have their own skyscrapers because it symbolizes something great and a plus point to the tourism attraction point. Menara Taming Sari is the height of 110 meters, one of the most visited places in Malacca. Masjid Selat Malacca is a mosque located on the island of Malacca near the city of Malacca. It looks like a floating structure when the water level is high. Construction cost of 10 million ringgit. It has a 30-meter minaret tower which also functions as a lighthouse. A 290 meters Tanjung Pagar Center is currently the tallest building in Singapore. Is one of the famous skyscrapers in Asian region. Landmark 81, located in the Ho Chi Minh City of Vietnam.